Could your iPhone be the silent saboteur of your study sessions or work sessions? Today's video is brought to you by Brain.fm, science-backed focus music that sounds great, by the way. You can check it out, linked up down below. As you can see, Andrew Huberman has a guest here who says double-digit increases in performance simply by studying material without your iPhone in the room. I'm bringing this up because number one, it's causing a stir. A lot of people are talking about this. But number two, yeah, this is something to pay attention to if you're a student, but what if you're not a student? What if you're just trying to get some work done, for instance? I think largely this can really apply because what we're really talking about is your iPhone your friend or your foe when it comes to getting things done? I know you don't want to hear about your iPhone, which many people consider their friend, almost being something that's negative in any way, shape, or form, but you know it. You can feel it deep inside your bones. This thing distracts you all the time, keeps you from getting things done. You get sucked in and you open it. This is how you know. You open it and you're trying to do something. You're going to respond to a text message or look something up. You know what I mean? And you get distracted. You're in social media or the news grabs you. You get some kind of alert and you're just thrown off from whatever the task is that you meant to be concentrating on. And you realize like 5 or 10 minutes later, what just happened? You got sucked down a vortex. So I'm glad that Huberman talked about this with this professor, I believe from Yale, because what they're talking about is, look, there's a growing concern about how smartphones might be more of a hindrance than a help, especially in education settings. But let's be honest, when are you not in an educational setting? If you're at work, you are having to learn things from your clients, for instance, or your coworkers, or just to do your job, right? You're having to do some research, figure things out. So you could argue that life is an educational environment. And if your phone is there, then you might be in a bit of a trouble, right? So people have kind of been talking about this phone-free learning facilitation. It's like, it's negative when your phone is destroying your intelligence, but it's positive if you use more of your own human-powered intelligence. You're gonna find people on both sides, though, of this debate. Some people are gonna be like, look, it's obviously distracting, look at the data. And other people are gonna be like, how am I gonna do anything without this? And, not even in a dependency way necessarily, but they're just gonna be like, I need it. It's a necessary tool. And I can see, some valid points sort of on each side of this argument, actually. I do think that tech is a powerful tool. And I do find that there's this duality to humans where they're not 100% focused and good all the time. Sometimes they're unfocused and bad at certain things. And, the same tool or tool set in one person's hands is going to be used very differently than another person, or maybe even different groups of people or whatever. And so you kind of have this 80-20 rule, and people are just going to end up doing things differently. I'm almost done with the AI course, and a lot of what that course ends up boiling down to is like, how much AI will you adopt? Phones in the future are essentially going to be AI access points. That's what it's going to boil down to. And everybody's gonna have to decide like how much, just like you decide now, how much phone to have in your life, how much Mac, iPad, internet, social media, whatever it is. You're just gonna have to decide like, am I going all in on AI? Am I gonna be like a neo-Amish community sort of person, super Luddite, where I just disconnect from technology? Probably most people are gonna be in the middle, but closer to which side of that gradient, I don't really know. It's a personal decision. Obviously, just because you take a phone out of the mix doesn't mean you're not gonna have an iPad or some other piece of technology. Even a smartwatch could be distracting too, right? Personally, if you just want my personal take, if you've stayed around this long, I would say, for me, it's definitely a mix. I like to have phone-free time if I can. Even when I'm just working at my desk, sometimes I'll get the Remarkable tablet out and just kind of do like an initial pass through of whatever it is that I'm working on just by hand. So it's just me in my mind. And then later I know that any of that stuff can be put into AI later, or I can, hit the productivity apps or whatever, use things like Brain.fm. And there's just different modes that I have and that I kick into, and it really depends on the task and whatever it is that I'm doing. So I'd like to know what you are doing about this. Are you kind of are you structured enough? Do you have the willpower to leave the phone out in the cold while you're concentrating on something? Is that really hard? What are your strategies? How are you going about this? I just want to take a brief second and let you know about our sponsor today, Brain.fm. I love Brain.fm. I'm literally never without this app on my Mac, on my iPhone, wherever I go, because it just sounds so good. But it's not just about the sound. Brain.fm is science-based, science-backed, and it will help you actually concentrate better. So it actually works as fast as just 5 minutes. And I love the interface. and it just really has quite an effect. Check it out. As you can see, people really love it. And if you check the link down in the description, you get 30 days free.